Hey guys, so today we're making some chicken and dumplings. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So I have about 8 bone-in chicken thighs, and I'm just gonna add in a big bunch of fresh parsley, um, a big yellow onion, some fresh thyme, some carrots, some fresh garlic cloves, any other herbs, fresh herbs that you would like. I got some celery in here. And then I'm just going to pour enough water on here to cover the top of my chicken and vegetable and herbs. And I'm going to cook this on my stove. I started out on like a medium low, and I didn't season it yet because I want to get some of this the scum off the top, like the impurities. So I'm just gonna go in with a mesh strainer and get as much of that off as I need to. And then I'm also gonna get a little bit of that fat out of there as well, because I'm trying to get my broth as clear as possible. And I forgot to add in bay leaves, so I'm just going to add in a few bay leaves. And now I'm going to season my chicken broth. So I'm using this original Dano seasoning. I'm going to add in some oregano leaves. And so if you have fresh oregano, you can use fresh. I'm going to add in some onion powder, some black pepper. I'm going to add in a little bit of chicken bouillon. I'm going to add in a little bit of some sea salt, but you can season with whatever you want. I don't care what seasonings you use. Just make sure your food is not bland, because we don't want no bland food, y'all, okay? And so I'm just going to boil this chicken. I let it boil for probably about an hour. Just until you get a nice deep flavor with your broth and your chicken is nice and tender. And so while that is on the stove, I'm going to make the dumpling mix. And so I added in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I'm adding in 3 teaspoons of baking powder, as well as about a half a teaspoon of some salt. And then I'm just going to whisk that together. If you have self-rising flour, you won't need to do the additional step of adding baking powder and salt, but I had all purpose, so I needed to add those ingredients. And so I'm going to add in I ended up adding in a whole stick of butter. I am using plant butter because I want my daughter to be able to eat this, but you can use real butter if you would like. And so I'm just going to mix this together until I get like some pea-sized clumps. And then I'm going to start to add in some chicken broth. You can use water if you want to, but the chicken broth will add in some additional flavor. And so total I used about, I want to say 3/4 cup. Not, no. I'll be sure to list it in the description box below. But I started out with about 3/4 cup of water. I mean of broth, and I am going to use a large percentage of the chicken broth, but the dough is going to appear to be kind of wet and sticky, which is fine because we're going to roll it out on. I'm going to roll it out on this cutting board, and so I didn't want the dough to get dry and tough, so I didn't add a whole bunch of flour in the bowl, since I am going to be kneading it on this surface. And so you want to make sure that you flour your work surface as well as your rolling pin, your hands, and all of that. And so I'm just going to work this through until it's no longer sticky, and then I'm just going to roll this out into, I'm going to attempt a rectangle, but really you just want to roll it out until you're able to get like a nice layer. And I didn't cut it like super duper thin, but maybe about the thickness of like a thin crust pizza or so. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like super thick, and I'll show you guys a little piece of it once I'm all done. But I made a lot of dumplings, and so this is what they look like, and this is the size and thickness that I'm going for. If you prefer drop dumplings, you can do those, but I'm gonna make these little squares. And so my chicken is done at this point, and so I'm just gonna take my chicken out. It is nice and tender. I'm gonna remove the chicken, and then I'm gonna strain my broth, And so I'm just going to get all those vegetables and herbs out of there, and I'm going to shred the chicken. And you want to make sure that you taste your broth for seasoning, and so I felt like it needed some additional salt, so I'm adding in some salt, and then I'm going to taste it again. But again, you want to make sure that it tastes good to you, and so I am just using a mesh strainer to remove those vegetables. And then I'm going to start adding in my dumplings, and you want to do your best not to stir the pot with your dumplings in there, and you want to make sure that you give them enough space so that they're not on top of each other. And so I'm just going to cook this for about 20 minutes uncovered. I'm cooking this for about 20 minutes uncovered. And again, don't stir the dumplings. At this point, I'm adding in my shredded chicken after the 20 minutes. And then I'm just going to kind of like fold this in, and I'm going to let this cook an additional like 15 minutes. Season to your taste. I'm adding in some additional seasonings. But this is the finished product, you guys. I did not add any heavy cream or anything like that because it was creamy enough for me, but you can add a splash of heavy cream at the end if you'd like. Um, and so I just garnished it with some fresh parsley. And so this is what it looks like. It was so flavorful and delicious, you guys. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.